Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys, and take off your shoes and socks and run you.
I'm not getting it on the YouTube. Oh, here we go. Got it. Man, they sure make it hard to share. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the Subdoms. I'm Jesse Thorne, America's radio sweetheart. Joining me from the Flophouse podcast is the great Dan McCoy. Hi Dan, how are you?
Hello. I was shocked to see myself on screen. Shocked.
You look gorgeous. Look at this beautiful office. You got a drafting table for when you're doing architecture.
My primary job, of course.
Dan, let me explain what the Subdoms is to you. So, first of all, shout out to my co-host, Jordan Morris, still on a little family leave. I think he'll be back tomorrow. But the Subdoms is the show where Jordan and I, or in this case, you and I, discuss the dank, dangerous, fascinating, beautiful world of some of Reddit's most quotidian and remarkable subreddits. Basically, Reddit is a place where people come together to obsess over things. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's something weird.
I've heard some of these. I'm glad that we're delving into the pleasant Reddits and not the ones that the algorithm keeps trying to feed me, where it's just something like just asking questions, and it's the most like stormy, like designed to annoy question you could imagine.
Yesterday, John Hodgman and I, just so you know, did take a moment to reenact a profane flame war that went down in the r/shrimp tank subreddit between a guy named Fartmaster and a guy named Seaglass Ho.
And these are owners of shrimp tanks.
We started in r/Seaglass, and then I got kind of obsessed with this one hunk who kept posting pictures of himself shirtless with his Seaglass, and that was user Seaglass Ho, a local Southern Californian, lives in Oceanside, California, I believe, near San Diego. based on me creeping on his past posts, which led me to his flame war in r/shrimp tanks.
All right. My brothers, of course, had a shrimp tank of a kind when I was young, which is that they had sea monkeys, which are, of course, brine shrimp. And
Oh, did they order them out of a comic book?
I believe they did. And so I got to see them, little specks, whirling around inside a plastic little tank.
Dan, congratulations on having brothers who are Dana
Also weirdos?
Gould's age.
Yeah.
Your brothers are 60, apparently.
The eldest one is, in fact. I'm the
Oh.
baby by far.
Well, there you go. That explains that. Did you know, Dan, that I once wrote, we're going to get into this week's sub is called Somni Gastronomy, and I will explain what that is in just a moment.
Please.
But did you know that I wrote the foreword for a book about shit you can mail off and buy, mail a postal money order and buy from the back of a comic book?
I did not know that. I'm surprised I don't have it behind me in my collection. It sounds exactly like the kind of book I would own already.
It is called Mail Order Mysteries, and it presented the advertisements alongside the actual item that you got and compared them. These items were not impressive items on the whole. And I wrote they invited me to write this foreword, and I was like, okay. I just agreed to it. I don't know why. I didn't know the man who wrote it. I've never met him. It's a nice book, though.
You say this title, and I'm like, maybe I do own this, and I acquired it before I knew who you were or something, or didn't notice. So I got to look, but yeah.
I mean, it's a really cool book, but I wrote this forward, and I realized 3 paragraphs into writing this forward that it was way sadder than I expected it to be. It was just about the magic of childhood slipping away. I was like, uh-oh, is this going to be okay? And then I reminded myself that I was being paid with 20 copies of the book Mail Order Mysteries. And so I should just write whatever fucking forward I wanted to.
Anyone who has a book called Mail Order Mysteries has a well of sadness within them that you probably tapped into.
Yeah, he was chill about it. I mean, shout out to the dude that wrote Mail Order Mysteries. Okay, let's talk about Somni Gastronomy. Have you ever heard about this subreddit? I just learned about it yesterday, Dan.
I have no idea what that is. I'm on tenterhooks.
Special shout out to the listener who suggested it on Blue Sky. Listener, I meant to write down your name, and I didn't. But I did thank you on Blue Sky, so thank you very much. It was like Chaunch or something.
This is a very Dan McCoy mistake. I approve.
I'm gonna say it was Chaunch. Somni Gastronomy is a subreddit that is dedicated to food that people dreamed about. So not like I've always dreamed of eating oysters for every meal or whatever, but actual foods that came to people in dreams. And then the posts are either they've actually cooked or prepared the food, or they've created art inspired by the food. So sometimes there was one the other day that was, what was it? What was that foam made out of? It involved a foam and ranch dressing. It was a drink that involved a ranch dressing on top.
This is a real
foam in the middle.
High-low culture sort of a drink.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't all be Grant Ashats, from
I certainly can't.
Famous molecular gastronomer. I don't know.
I think I could pull out maybe a molecular gastronomer name, and that would not be it. So I can't.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's one of the chefs who uses Made In, sponsor of Judge John Hodgman, that I remember his name. Because we're very grateful to Made In because A, we actually like their products, and B, they've been sponsoring us a long time. But because we convinced them that we actually like our products and their ads are successful, they've been running the ads for a long time, which is awesome. But they have just given us the same copy for the last 9 months.
Yeah.
and they're cool with us doing whatever we want, because it's still working out and everything. But yeah, I've just been looking at Grant Ashatz's name for the last 9 months.
I will not say anything bad about any of our advertisers. God bless them for staying with us. But we like Squarespace has stuck with us so long that I do not think I can say a new thing about that product. I mean, it still seems to be a good product, but I could not inject new life into it. I don't believe.
Dan, you're a cook, you're a home cook, an enthusiastic home cook.
Yes, very much.
Do you ever dream about food?
I was trying to think, have I ever dreamed up a meal and tried to make it? And the, the problem with me remembering anything is that my brain is a weird sieve, and my own personal like divergence is that I will only remember facts about movies, and preferably like the more irrelevant the better. And so anything else is dumped, like the cache is cleared. It feels like I have done this. I have tried to make something that I dreamed of at least once in my life, but I cannot remember the details.
One time my dad got so mad at me for like not remembering school things. He got so mad, and he's like, "You can remember shit about baseball."
Yeah,
And I'm like,
because you care about it.
yeah, because school sucks and baseball rules.
Yeah, that's how it works, Dad.
Also, Dad, you have ADHD.
Yeah, my own dad, upon learning that like I have ADHD, my brother is on the autism spectrum, was like, I'm beginning to think that maybe I have some neurodivergence. I'm like, you think? It is genetic, so you might be onto something there.
There is a real you think quality to older generations and neurodivergences.
Yeah.
Like my father-in-law got diagnosed as autistic recently. He's in his 60s, and nobody was surprised about it, but it was news nonetheless. He doesn't sort of present in the ways that popular culture presents autistic
Right.
people.
Yeah.
And he was like, the more I think about it, the more I think my dad might have been autistic. And I was like, your dad would just talk about specific things about Benny Goodman for 10 straight minutes at the Thanksgiving table. Like, well, everyone else like looked over their shoulders trying to find the emergency exits.
Find the person who brought up Benny Goodman in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. The idea that your dad used to send us charts of our virtues. Okay. He was a nice man.
Sure.
So, do you ever dream about food in general, though? Like, even just leaving aside cooking, like, do you dream about entering the hot dog eating contest or eating incredible meals or?
I don't. You know what? My dreams are mostly on the theme of I am trying to accomplish a task and I'm being frustrated at every turn. that is what I dream about.
Yeah. The other day, I dreamed that my wife had a girlfriend, and my wife was like, "We should have a throuple." My wife is very heterosexual. She went to Sarah Lawrence, and she really learned how heterosexual. If you want to know whether you're a heterosexual woman, go to Sarah Lawrence, because if there's any play in that,
Yeah.
you're gonna find it. But anyway. She had a girlfriend in the dream, and the girlfriend and my wife wanted us to be a throuple, but the girlfriend was like fucking icing me out, and also her name was Cindy.
Yeah, that sounds like a Cindy.
Give me a break, Cindy. Okay, let's start with a win, because this is actually just last week. If Jordan, if you want to, JK, if you want to show this first post called "A Delicious Dream Come True," this is a sandwich that someone dreamed up. And it says, a while back, I had a dream about a sandwich with prosciutto, goat cheese, arugula, and blackberry jam on a toasted ciabatta bun. While I did not get to eat it in the dream, I did remember enough to know I needed to construct it in real life. I went all out. I got the prosciutto from the fancy butcher in town and the arugula from the farmer's market. I also put olive oil and pink sea salt on the bun before toasting. Reader, it was absolutely delicious. Every single flavor you could want was here. The structure of the toasted bun and arugula, the sweet tang of the jam and cheese swirling together, the salty depth of the prosciutto all came together so beautifully for the perfect meal after a long day of work. I'm glad I got enough to make it a few times because this is going to be lunch for the next week. God willing, I won't wear it out by the time blackberry season rolls around. I just want to get the good stuff from the farmer's market and make it again. Isn't that lovely?
It's making me hungry. Our good friend Elliot Kalin, of course, would throw the sandwich right out the window because there's fruit involved. But I think that looks delicious. And my only thing I'm wondering is, prosciutto, unless you slice it like very, very thin, can be awfully chewy. So if you pile a lot up, I wonder what that's going to be like. But it looks very good.
Yeah, I'm suspicious of the blackberry jam, but I'm imagining it, and like the saltiness of the prosciutto feels like it sort of balances it out.
I think so. Yeah.
Can
Especially
can I
the
ask you a
goat
question,
cheese.
Dan?
Yeah.
It's about our friend Elliot Kalin. So, listeners or viewers at home might not know this, but Elliot is one of my best friends. I really, and I mean that, like, not just like Elliot and I see each other, our children are friends. I truly love the guy. I feel so lucky that he lives near me. Like when he moved to Los Angeles and moved to Eagle
Now you're
Rock,
just making me jealous, but go
I
on.
was like, I'm going to try and be friends with Elliot Kalin. Like, I like that guy, you know?
Yeah.
And our families are very close. We've talked about vacationing together. He can put up with my children, which is rare. It's a special relationship. So I just want to emphasize that before I talk about the number of times he's told me this story about when he went to Yankee Stadium with his grandma, went to the special club, ordered a chocolate cake, and it came with raspberry sauce on top that they didn't have listed in the menu.
Yeah. And he could not
He
eat
was
it.
so mad. This happened like 10 years ago. He's still mad about this raspberry sauce.
No, I think I have also heard this story at least 4 or 5 times over the years. He really hates fruit, that guy, which is, if that's your thing. But I'm just like,
Yeah. By the way, all of Elliot's fruit hating is supported by the members of Maximum Fun. So if you are watching this live stream, whether it's now or later, MaximumFun.org/join is the place to go to become a member of Maximum Fun. If you're a listener to the Flophouse, if you're a listener to Jordan Jesse Go, or Judge John Hodgman, or Bullseye, all of those operate based on your support. In fact, speaking of operating this live stream right now is our friend Jordan Cowling, former producer of the Flophouse, current producer of Jordan Jesse Go. Jordan Cowling's salary, that's right, paid by memberships. So go to MaximumFun.org/join and support Max Fun. We just put out the Jordan Jesse Go bonus content, which is we watched the last 5 episodes of the podcasting sitcom Alex Inc. after doing individual episodes about each of the 5 previous episodes of the first set. The first nightmare block we chunked out. The last nightmare block, straight through. Dan, I can't tell you what it's like to watch 5 Alex Incs in 2 days, which is what I did. 2 and 3 in a row. God, what a nightmare.
have been listening to these. It's been a descent into madness. I can tell for you guys, just the increasing pain and disappointment and just feeling of betrayal that it never got any better. I have to tell you, Jesse, I'm writing. Speaking of Elliot just gave me notes on a second draft of a sitcom that I wrote in the foolish belief that at some point more television will be made. And it is a podcast related sitcom, which I never wanted to write, but my brother said something to me once that like it just stuck in my head. I'm like, oh, this, there's an idea here that I might, and part of me hopes that someday it might get made just so there's one show about podcasting that seems to know anything about podcasting. That could be the dream.
What a microphone is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Look, Dan's out here writing these spec scripts. He needs your help too. MaximumFun.org/join. All right, let's take a look at this second list, this second link. So one of the categories is people dream about something, and then they create art inspired by that dream. And this is an example of that latter category. This is from user Cyan Cat, and the subject line of this post, which had 1,400 upvotes, Dan, this is a popular post, is plain white rice in an ice cream cone as a free amenity in a fancy hotel bathroom. It says, dreamt I was browsing the Instagram of someone I knew in the dream but didn't quite match up to anyway, to anyone I know IRL, and they had posted a video where they were in a hotel room and showing how the bathrooms there had free ice cream, except it was actually just a scoop of plain boiled white rice in a waffle cone. Later on in the video, their friend was there, and he got chewed out for biting the cone and the rice inside it at the same time, which is apparently considered a faux pas in the place they were at. Jordan, if you go to the second photo, you can see an artist's rendering of what it would look like in the fancy hotel bathroom.
Now it seems to just be balancing like the Inception top there.
Well, this is a very fancy bathroom, Dan. Just as an FYI, this bathroom is very, very fancy.
Now, my wife, my wife Audrey is Filipino, and she's told me many times about how when she was a kid, like she would be sent to school or whatever, and there'd be like a sandwich or something, and just like culturally, like growing up, she was like, "What? There's bread here. Like this is not a meal though, because there's no rice. Like rice is." So like her favorite thing, like so centrally important. And I think that everything about this, except for it being served in a bathroom, she would be for. Like, yes, hand me a cone of portable rice, but the sort of the general, bacterial issues of the bathroom, maybe not so much.
But Dan, you're not a rice Midwesterner? Because I didn't even know about the existence of rice Midwesterners until I was an adult. There's like Midwesterners for whom rice is the central part of every meal in the way that it is for many Asian cultures. Only, I think maybe people put butter on it?
Definitely, yeah, butter and rice. Butter and rice and soy sauce is very good. But we would have rice, but I think that was more a function of like when I was youngest, my family was sort of lower middle class, and then they clawed their way up into mid to upper middle class over the years. But rice just being a staple, cheap food would be part of it, but it was definitely not really central to our meals, and so it took a bit of training for me to be like, oh no, I need to provide rice. That needs to be part of my job as a husband, is to be a bringer of rice.
Yeah, sure. Do you use a rice cooker at home?
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
I got
it's
a rice
probably
cooker,
the most
but
used.
it's in the shed, and I don't use it because I got to eat more rice.
Well, it being in the shed seems to be one of the problems, maybe, unless you're just snacking on rice out in the shed while you're working.
But I'm out here like, I got like a slow cooker. Those are huge.
Yeah.
I got that taking up room in my kitchen. I got a Champion juicer that I bought at a garage sale one day. Have you ever used one of those Champion juicers?
A juicer's never I've never understood I've never been like a juice lifestyle that I'm like, oh, I got to get a juicer.
But do you know about Champion juicers specifically? Like, do you know the kind I'm talking with the schnoz? It's got a schnoz and a thing, and you go, and the juice comes out the bottom, and then the pulp comes out the nose.
No, that sounds, like fun to watch at least.
It's incredible. It is an incredible machine to use.
Okay.
It is like one of those things where someone designed it in 1970, maybe 1965, and just nothing about it has changed. No part of it has changed. It's like the engine is the motor is like the body of it is like this big. I mean, truly like 14 inches wide, and it's just all metal, all motor, and then it's just like a burr cone that spins like this and mashes everything into juice. You put carrots in there, you could put watermelons in there. I like to put watermelons in there.
You're sort of the Gallagher of juicing
Yeah, exactly.
without the racism.
I also put in racist and homophobic jokes.
Juice it out of there.
God. Me and Jordan went to see Gallagher one time when we were in college because Gallagher was going to come on The Sound of Young America, and then he canceled at the last minute, but they still gave us tickets to the show. And it was in Salinas, which turned out to be way further from Santa Cruz than we thought. And first of all, Gallagher treated his audiences fantastically well. Like, he was out there before and after the show meeting people, signing autographs. He rode around on a recumbent bike or trike before the show. Like, he came on stage first by riding around the aisles of the theater in his recumbent bike. It was like the guy with a David Cross character from Mr. Show, who like runs the Mistake Company.
Yeah.
Work his play, Tofuti Break Today, that guy.
Yeah.
But then, he made, like, I remember he was making the pies, like the grand finale was him smashing. And he poured a bunch of canned chow mein and canned fruit salad into a pie and goes like, "That's my San Francisco pie." I was like, Jesus, what a dillweed. Such a dillweed.
No, yeah. One of the biggest dill weeds. But I do appreciate you telling me about how well he treated the audience, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that accounts for his popularity because nothing else does.
Well, so like we're there and we're like sniggering, like we're really giving it I'm not usually a go to bad things and laugh at them person. This is your career, Dan.
My bread and butter.
But like, that's not usually my lifestyle. So I wasn't used to this thing that really happened, which is someone turned around and said, "You're not laughing at the jokes. You're laughing at the wrong part." Like, they thought we were confused about which was the joke and which wasn't. And they were a little worried and offended. Mm-hmm. And we're like, no, we think this is bad. And they're like, I think first we said, like, "Are you a big Gallagher fan?" They're like, "We've been 5 times. And this isn't Salinas, this isn't, you know what I mean? Like, this is a quadrutiary market. Okay. Next up in Somni Gastronomy. Months ago, I had a dream about a TikTok trend to find an item in a grocery store that described your life. First of all, not a bad TikTok trend. We need to make those for the Max Fun Drive. The item that user April Boptree found was a cracker brand, and the brand is 2 wives and a cousin.
I guess. Well, now I want to know about this person's life. that describes them.
First question from mycologist Secure 4898. By the way, shout out to all the other mycologists. Secure mycologists, 4,897 of them. They wrote, "Context, please." And then April Boptree just replied, "Dream bullshit. I do not have 2 wives."
Oh, okay. Yeah. All
Someone
right.
said, "Do you have a cousin?" And they said, "Many."
Yeah. I mean, I like that 2 wives and a cousin seems to be doing well enough as a brand that they've got a smoked Gouda version. They've not just basic 2 wives and a cousin crackers.
That one came out as art.
Yeah.
But user Trio Havoc posted something that they actually made. It's called Halfway Hector's Hot Raz Slammer. Halfway Hector's
There's a lot
Hot
there.
Raz. It says, just to recap my dream, they had posted about the dream before they actually made it. I had a dream where I went to a restaurant called Halfway Hector's, and they served chicken sandwiches, and their specialty was a hot chicken sandwich with raspberry jam on it called Halfway Hector's Hot Raz Slammer. It was recommended to me by the employee at the register. Once you placed your order, the ingredients would rain down on you from the ceiling, and you had to catch each piece and assemble the sandwich yourself. It was fun to watch other people order and see buns and jam and chicken just fall from the ceiling and people struggle to catch the ingredients they needed. The sandwich was a fried chicken patty on fresh buttered biscuits with smoky chipotle aioli sauce and hot raspberry jam. It was messy. It was sticky. I ate 3 of them in my dream. I was covered in jam. They were really good. End of dream. Flash forward to today. I tried to stay true to the dream recipe with the exception of the addition of provolone cheese to 2 of the 4 hot raz slammers I made. For a hot raspberry jam, I used store-bought raspberry jam heated up with red pepper flakes mixed in. So this wasn't temperature hot. This was spiciness hot raspberry jam. My verdict on how this tastes in real life? Not as good as it was in the dream. However, still damn good.
There's so much here, but I'll focus on the culinary value of this. Like I'm a little suspicious of adding both aioli and raspberry jam to something. That's the part where I get stuck. I think that the idea of a hot raz slammer that's just like a fried chicken cutlet on a biscuit with some raspberry jam sounds pretty good to me.
Dan,
some hot.
How many times did I just say hot raz slammer? I said like 5 times. And yet I was taking a sip of water when you said hot raz slammer, and I almost choked or spit it out all over my computer.
I mean, I think the branding in this stream is A+. Like, I don't know what Hector's halfway to or whether he's just halfway to being a Hector. I love it, though. A hot raz slammer is fun to say, fun to think about. I like all the titling going on in this person's brain.
In my imagination, it was like it was like his restaurant is a halfway house. So like he and everyone that works there are in the process of rehabilitating. They're out of jail, but they're not yet fully integrated into society. So
right. So it's like one of those things where prisoners bake bread, except for they're making hot raz slammers.
Hot raz slammers are served with toilet wine.
Oh no.
You don't make it in the bowl of the toilet. You make it in the reservoir of the toilet.
I mean, yeah, and presumably at Halfway Hector's, they've cleaned some toilets for the particular use of the wine.
Do you know about this thing where in the federal prison system, when cigarettes became against the rules, you couldn't pay for things with cigarettes anymore. And so at the commissary, you could buy packets of mackerel, like, tuna packets, but they're mackerel, even cheaper than tuna. And they cost $1. And they lasted forever. So the currency in the federal prison system was max, which was you would just pay for things with packages of mackerel.
I think maybe I heard this from you during some podcast, possibly, but hearing it again amazes me all over. I mean, as a guy who I like a tinned fish. I like, that's a nice little snack. But I just didn't. The idea that became currency is surprising to me. Like I figured that there'd be other things possibly that we get there earlier, but in the prison system, I guess there's not a lot of options.
What is the Flophouse bonus content for this year? What is the new thing you made?
So we are running the table on Transformers movies. We are a podcast that talks about critical or commercial flops, and by and large, the Transformers movies, while successful, have not been critically successful.
Yeah, I mean, some people like Bumblebee, right?
People like Bumblebee. People like the original animated one, which is the one that is in the bonus feed right now. We are committed to
People
doing.
like that?
Yeah. I mean,
The
it's
one from the 80s where Optimus
yeah.
Prime dies?
I mean, it's got Orson Welles, Jesse. It's Orson Welles' final performance as a talking planet, and he treated it with the respect it deserved.
Dan, your
Um,
grammar was such that it sounded like Orson Welles had often portrayed talking planets, and this was the last amongst
right.
those portrayals.
I will not take any bait that might exist in that, and just say that Orson Welles did he seemed to be confused by what he was doing in a certain sense. Like, there are tales of him saying, like, you know what I did today? I played a planet for some sort of toy thing, which is accurate. It's
Yeah.
accurate, and yet it shows like the level of admirable, like, yeah, whatever, I'll just do it for the money that marked his final years. But that's a fun movie. It looks kind of great in its weird cheap way. But we're gonna also do a not so great Transformers movie, definitely the Michael Bay Transformers. We're gonna do Transformers 1, which I saw on a plane and kind of liked, I gotta admit. Those we're gonna do no matter what. But if we hit our stretch goals, we hope to do all of the Transformers movies. Well, hope is a strong word. We would like to hit our stretch goals, but we will be punished by doing the Transformers movies if we do that.
I had a tire repair, and I went to the tire repair place by my house, and it was a weekend, so there was like a line, you know? And so I gave the guy my keys, and I went into the little lobby there. And on the TV was the worst thing I had ever seen in my life. Like, I could not believe how awful this thing was. I was like, what is this show? Like, this is like the weirdest, like, TNT original. Like, what is this garbage? And it turned out that it was Transformers, but it was like a 20-minute chunk from the beginning that didn't have any Transformers in it, which is why it took me 20 minutes to realize that it was Transformers. That and the fact that I didn't recognize Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, the stars of Transformers.
It's been a few years.
Yeah. And motion smoothing was on.
Oh,
And it was truly the worst looking thing I've ever seen on a television, including the time that I was in a hotel room and watched the entire Lilo and Stitch live action film with motion smoothing on because we couldn't figure out how to turn it off. Even my
yeah.
wife was angry about the motion smoothing, who does not care about such things. She's like, God, this looks horrible.
There are a few Michael Bay movies I genuinely enjoy, but on the Transformers series, he just seemed to have like turned the ugliness knob up all the way. I don't know what's going on in those things.
MaximumFun.org/join is the place to become a member of Maximum Fun if you're watching this live stream. I'm Jesse Thorne. Dan McCoy is with me. Did you read? There was a New Yorker article about Michael Bay that I cannot recommend enough. And it's basically my main takeaway from it was that Michael Bay's filmmaking technique is he sends some screenwriters and he says, think of 3 cool things that could happen. One for the beginning, one for the middle, and one for the end. And that's a movie.
This seems like a
just
perversion.
Think of 3 things nobody's seen before.
A perversion of like Howard Hawks' old like dictum that like a good movie is what, like, you know, it's like 3 good scenes, no bad ones, or whatever. He's like forgotten the no bad ones part of it, I guess.
Okay, so when this listener told me about somni gastronomy, the thing that they specifically were focused on was kind of the latest craze in that subreddit. So I'm going to read you the story behind that craze, if you don't mind. And then we'll take a look at the picture, and there's actually a few different posts about it because I want to go out with like a really positive vibe. Oh, by the way, the person who said this to me was called Chaunch. So shout out to Chaunch. Thank you for suggesting Somni Gastronomy. Chaunch, I presume Chaunch is just their display name. Their username on Blue Sky is the much more normal Sparkle Spanks. So shout out to Sparkle Spanks / Chaunch. Okay, this is a post from somebody named whose username is Snack Braff.
Okay. Ties in with your bonus content.
In my dream, I was having lunch with my family in a really expansive McDonald's that had table service. The old man who served us was called Shirt Up. This was on his name tag, and he knew that there were drinks / food to run anytime someone enthusiastically yelled from the kitchen, "Shirt up!"
That just sounds like something that you hear at Mardi Gras. It doesn't sound like someone's name.
He brought us this concoction instead of the regular Dr. Peppers we had ordered, telling us he had hooked us up with the good stuff. I kept asking exactly what the good stuff was, and he just kept saying the good stuff. So eventually I tried it. Weirdly, the Dr. Pepper and apple juice flavors had stayed separate in the drink. That's right, it was a combination of half Dr. Pepper and half apple juice. Instead of fully mingling, it was like half of the straw was sucking up apple juice and the other half was sucking up Dr. Pepper. The result, honestly, was pretty good, like a fizzy spiced cider. In the dream, I also remember telling him that my favorite thing to mix with Dr. Pepper was day-old coffee with cinnamon biscotti creamer in it, which I had apparently tried at some point when I was drunk in the fiction of the dream. So this is the good stuff.
There's nothing that would make me more suspicious than a man repeatedly just being like, "I'm going to give you the good stuff," without explaining what that is. It's a dangerous.
Lots of people in the Somni Gastronomy subreddit ended up making the good stuff.
Yeah.
The one that I was most impressed by, and it's our second good stuff link, was from Wholesome Soup, who said, "I live in a strange and exotic land, Lebanon, so had to engage in some shady deals, asking my Lebanese friend to DoorDash some because she knows where to get things, to get the elusive elixir, Dr. Pepper. Anyway, shirts up, good stuff."
You know, I could see this being not bad. I mean, Dr. Pepper, of course, is a bunch of fruit flavors intermingled along with, I guess some like more herby stuff in there. I like Dr. Pepper. I know you're a fan of Dr. Pepper. I don't really like apple juice that much because it's just kind of sweet. I would probably make it with cider that tastes a little bit more like apples, a little more complex, but I bet it's not bad.
I mean, we also in the subreddit, someone made the good stuff, but they used an apple soda, a Mexican apple soda, instead of apple juice. And I think that is one way to make it at least a little zippier bubble-wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what you're
I like,
looking for.
though, most of all, I like that people all over the world were putting together the good stuff with the products that they could find locally. Because Dr. Pepper is a pretty marginal soda outside of the United States. Like,
Yeah.
it definitely exists, but it's tough to find and sometimes is weird. I mean, it's weird everywhere because
a weird
it is a
flavor.
soda based
I
on
did-
the smell of a drugstore.
Yeah, I did not like it as a kid. I was like, what is this? And now it's probably my favorite of the major, semi-major sodas.
What's your favorite minor soda?
uh, New York Seltzer? I don't know. I don't know.
I like a Boylan root beer. Yeah, that's a nice root beer.
I like, it's really gross, but I like a peach Faygo sometimes.
Oh,
It's really gross, but if you like that fake peach flavor. It delivers a pure shot of that.
I got to tell you, like, this outs me as an urban inner city 8-year-old, which I was once upon a time. I kind of like grape soda.
Mm.
I maybe drink a grape soda twice every 3 years, let's say. But sometimes I'm like, it's like hot outside and I'm like beat, like I get pretty down when it's hot. I don't do very well in the heat. It's hot.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just need like to drink a soda or something. I'm out and about. I just need to drink a soda and get my juices flowing again, put some simple calories into me and drink something cold. And I'll go to the liquor store, the corner store, we call it here in California. And there'll just be like a 35-cent Shasta grape soda, and that will be my choice.
Now, do they have actual liquor there as well?
Yeah, liquor. You can just sell liquor at the store.
Okay.
They have liquor at the grocery store in California.
Because in New York, and we've had this problem several times. My mother-in-law is a big vodka tonic fan, and that's her drink, and we have to have it when she comes over to visit. But it is bizarrely difficult to find tonic in our neighborhood, a common mixer, and you would think that they just have it at the liquor store, but they cannot sell it in the same store for rules of like, I guess the idea is like, kids are going to be in here to buy soda if there's soda here. Not that like tonic, all the kids are drinking their quinine.
Kids love tonic because they hate malaria.
Yeah. It's true.
Tonic was invented for kids who were working on the building of the Panama Canal.
Just inject it into those little tykes.
The final post that I want to share with you is also good stuff related. It's from Objective Captain 208, who has flair that says, "Shirt up." And they just said, though I haven't yet tried it, I want to share how much I appreciate the level of community support, action, and variety seeing so many people from all over the world try the good stuff. Keep it coming. Unrelated, my offering is a dreamt of doner kebab pizza, which may actually exist. Who knows? Appreciate all the dreamers.
I have to say, there's a very good Palestinian restaurant in my neighborhood or near my neighborhood called Ayat that has what I would essentially call a doner kebab pizza as one of the options.
You know about this kind of doner kebab turns out to be a pretty regional food. And one of the versions of doner kebab is from the Maritimes in Canada, and it has a special sauce that you can only buy in Canada that they are obsessed with, and it is like a sweet white sauce.
Mm. Do you know what's
eat kebab with?
Do you know what all's in it? Do you have any idea? Because I know that like there's a lot of white sauce, if you get street meat here in New York, that I think is mostly just sort of like essentially thinned out mayonnaise. There's some other stuff in there, like some garlic maybe or lemon, but it's thinned out mayonnaise.
Yeah, I think that's about right. A friend of Judge John Hodgman, Kenji Lopez Alt, has an excellent recipe for halal cart style chicken bowl on Serious Eats, and the sauce is basically thinned out mayonnaise. I mean, he fancies it up a little bit with some fresh ingredients, but it's basically just thinned out mayonnaise.
And it sounds alarming. It sounds gross, but it's very good. It's actually very good.
It's super good. Dan, that's a fact that you could only know because you have money to buy food. Why do you have money to buy food? Because people support your podcast, The Flophouse, by going to MaximumFun.org/join.
God knows very little else is going correctly in the entertainment industry or in the world, but people still are kind enough to support Maximum Fun, and I thank them for it.
I'm so grateful to you, Dan, for being part of Maximum Fun, both because, as you know, I'm a huge fan of The Flophouse. I actually listen to The Flophouse. I like, I probably told you this, but when I was going through, I'm a classic emotional dump on Podcaster, but like when I was going through really difficult family times 5 or 6 years ago, listening to the Flophouse was like one of the only enjoyable things that I could manage. Like I would go and do my podcasts and like find the strength within myself to be fun. But in my own life, it was like I could listen to the Flophouse and I could watch I Think You Should Leave. Like I Think You Should Leave was so intense that it like cut through my depression and anxiety. But the Flophouse was my pal that I listened to. I would listen to the Flophouse when I was feeling bad, and I'm so grateful for the show, and I'm so grateful that you guys became part of Maximum Fun, even if it, drove probably permanent wedge between us and our friend Al Madrigal. That's not really true. He's fine with it.
He seems okay. He seems
He owned their old podcast network, but he's totally
fellow.
fine with it.
Yeah.
He texted me when it happened. He's like, I understand it's not a problem. We're still friends. But he's like, my only disappointment is it's the only show we make that my wife actually likes.
Oh, well, that's very nice. It's very nice to hear compliments from you and from Al's wife in absentia.
Kristen Madrigal, cool lady. She's my kid's educational therapist for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But if you feel that way about the Flophouse or about any of the shows in Maximum Fun, go to MaximumFun.org/join and become a member. There are so many cool thank you gifts. The latest for us is, of course, at $5 a month, you get access to a huge trove of bonus content. But at $10 a month, you get an ad-free version of Judge John Hodgman and Jordan Jesse Go. So think about what level you want to join at. If that's important to you, kick it up a notch. At MaximumFun.org/join. Thank you to Jordan Cowling for running the boards on this thing. Thank you, Dan, for filling in for Jordan Morris. We really appreciate it. It's always really good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
And have fun drafting.
I will. I'll be drafting all day.
MaximumFun.org/join, everybody. Bye.
I'll hug you and kiss you and love you.
Love you.
Love you. Love you.
Love you.